now being financed in the summer here. We now have enough money to really advance this project significantly through 2021 and 2022, all the way to continue to increase the resource, of which we envision 2 million plus ounces at AurMac, and then we'll initiate a PEA, and that's also funded.
Those viewers tuning into Assay TV, I'm very pleased to be speaking with Tara Christie, President and CEO of Banyan Gold. Banyan Gold is a precious metals exploration company focused on advancing exploration stage projects in the Yukon. Hello, Tara, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Tara, for the viewers who might not be familiar with Banyan Gold and its story, could you quickly summarize the company?
Sure. Banyan is a Yukon-focused exploration company. Our main project, the AurMac project, is located right in Yukon's newest mining district, the Mayo mining district, beside Victoria Gold and Alexco, who've both gone into production. 2020 and 2021 have been transformative for Banyan. You know, we've taken our project, we developed a maiden resource. Our mineralization model is showing that it's broadly applicable, and we're continuing to grow ounces. And now being financed in the summer here, we now have enough money to really advance this project significantly through 2021 and 2022, all the way to continue to increase the resource, of which we envision 2 million plus ounces at AurMac, and then we'll initiate a PEA, and that's also funded. So pretty exciting times for us. We can really focus on delivering value now for shareholders.
Absolutely. Yeah, excellent. That covers it very well. It's a great position you find yourself in right now. But let's focus in on AurMac's project then. You're rapidly advancing this, as you mentioned, and you've got two main deposits within that. Can you talk us through the properties and the geology as well?
Sure. This is a sediment-hosted, structurally controlled gold deposit. You know, we've got two main deposits, our airstrip deposit and our power line deposit, where the existing resources. There's over 775,000 ounces at airstrip and 129,000 ounces at 0.61 at power line. But it's early days. We've seen with the drilling that we've put out this year at power line that mineralized footprint there is continuing to grow. And we think it's likely on par with airstrip. We're actually gone back for a second phase of drilling at power line right now. We're really encouraged by the continuing results that we've had. We've had lots of visible gold, which is on our website. You know, we planned a 5 to 6-fold increase in the footprint of power line. We think we've achieved that. And now we've initiated a second phase where we're going to expand even beyond that. But we have a third really exciting target, which is Oryx Hill. And we drilled that in June and early July. And we're expecting the results back from that in early September. But we think there's a high potential for another near surface resource there. And it's about a kilometer to the east of power line, maybe even contiguous with power line. We don't know yet. We're going to continue to test that and really look for us to drill another 15,000 meters in 2021 alone. We're going to continue well into the fall, and then we'll pick it up again in the spring once we start to get some results. So really exciting times for us.
Yeah, certainly. Lots of drilling going on and lots of great results coming through. Just operationally on the ground then, how are things with that drill program? You seem to be racing ahead, but actually there's been some difficulties for a lot of Canadian explorers at the moment, you know, sourcing the right drill bits, getting the right teams out. We've had wildfires, but it seems that you've managed to, your properties are in a sweet spot where you've overcome some of these challenges that others might have been experiencing.
Yeah, we overcame that in two ways. One, you know, we have a core competent team, which is really scientifically driven, very focused. We started in February drilling, and we ramped up to 2 drills. And then now in August, while we're waiting for results from that first phase, we've dropped down to 1 drill, and we're focusing on some of our regional work, soil sampling, mapping, other stuff that you need to do in the summer, and also getting ourselves ramped up to have 2 drills and then 3 drills going into September. And we drilled to December 15th last year, and we're getting ourselves set up for that winter drilling. And it actually can be more efficient because you do less environmental damage, especially when you get the snowpack and frozen ground. You don't have to roads. Our team is very experienced working in the north, so it's actually an advantage for us. It lets us have that opportunity to get our results back, reposition, design our drill program based on those results. And then when everybody else is letting people go, we'll have the opportunity to pick up some additional drill crews and employees for our own team. And, then we'll be off. And again, it's really great when you can tell people, okay, go take December and January off, but be ready middle of February because we're going to start drilling again. It's a really different season for us than most other Yukon companies.
Yeah, certainly. That's a real advantage having the year-round drilling as well. And, presumably it's the attributes of the area in terms of the infrastructure and some of the advantages of where your sites are. Could you talk us through, how good the setup is for that?
Well, we've got a main highway right through our property, so it's year-round maintained. It's just 35 minutes from the community of Mayo. We also have the year-round maintained road, which is the access road to Victoria Gold, which goes right through our property as well. There's power lines right through our property and even cell phone service. So, that enables us to have access far superior than many companies that have to fly in or plow their own roads. We've already got year-round maintained roads. It also is a really important part of our safety program as we go into the winter to have that access and proximity to the community, which is super important if you're going to be drilling in the winter to be safe. But it's a key advantage. It's also a huge advantage should this project ever go forward into mine development, in that you've got those existing roads and power right there already. That would be a significantly lower capital cost than something that's out in the middle of nowhere where you have to build roads. So it's an advantage now and it'll be an advantage later.
Absolutely. Great. Well, let's talk about the big news then, really, around the financing. And, well done on closing the first tranche of the private placement. It's 16 million in total, I believe. It's quite a large amount for this exploration work. Can you just update us on where you're at with the financing? And then also, what does this really enable? It sort of changes the game, really, in terms of your strategy and approach to how you're going to complete the exploration drilling.
Absolutely. It's a really transformative for our strategy. Closing $16 million financing, welcoming some significant institutions, our corporate backing. I think all of that really shows that our project has been vetted by some of the best in the business. They made it very significant investments based on understanding the geology, our location, all the other attributes. And now we have the ability to really get out and execute. We don't have to worry about the overhang of the market. We can just continue to deliver value. We can plan significant programs, get drills lined up, people lined up, knowing that we're going to be going all the way through 2022 and even into 2023. Come out with a new resource in 2022, and then likely that PEA early in 2023. So really significant value drivers, which will add value for our shareholders.
Yeah, fantastic. And in the vicinity, you've got the two other large miners producing Victoria Gold and Alexco. And could you just talk us through how does the dynamic work with them also as shareholders? What's the relationship there, and how's that advantageous really for your work?
Yeah, so the properties which comprise AurMac were originally two non-core properties held by both Alexco and Victoria. So the deal that we struck in 2017 to put the properties into Banyan really was them saying, okay, we believe in your exploration team. We like your corporate philosophy and how you spend money in the ground. Let's put these properties together. So the property deal was to give them some shares, but they also have both put in equity and continue to put in equity. We've always thought that the main AurMac has the potential to host 3 to 5 million ounces. And I think by the end of this year, our shareholders are really going to see that we are on track to show that the property still has that potential. So the relationship is great. You know, in the early days, Victoria Gold and Alexco were a real key to our success. We stayed in Alexco's camp before they started building a mine, which let us defer that really high cost. Victoria Gold and Alexco both shared technical crews, and their extensive knowledge of this district really was key to working with our team. And then our team developed the model and has run with it. So we still do have a little bit of a sharing relationship with some, you know, infrastructure or equipment if we need it for one or the other. Less of the people sharing, particularly with COVID. You know, it forced us to grow up, put in our own infrastructure, which in the long term will serve us well. It's hard to mix exploration with mines. It's a different mindset. And quite frankly, they needed all their rooms for their own crews. So it's been a bit of a growing up for us, but it's also been great. So we still have very positive relationships with both Victoria Gold and Alexco. They're still key shareholders, along with Cisco Development. And in this most recent financing, Franklin has come in as a very significant shareholder. So we're pretty excited about that. We think that also is a testament to the quality, both of the project and validation of our management team. So those relationships, though, are key because, you know, the Yukon, you need to get along with your neighbors and they can help you in so many ways.
Yeah. So with the closing of this financing, you know, what does that do to the project in terms of the next steps?
Well, this really sets us up for 2021 and 2022. I think it'll show the market that we've been validated by some very serious investors, with both Franklin taking a significant position at 7% and Victoria Gold significantly increasing their position to 11%. So continue to have great support from Cisco and Alexco as major shareholders. But I think now, as we move forward, we'll really be able to get value and have that validation of significant players who've made very scientific and technical decisions to invest in Banyan.
Yep, certainly. And so with the way it's evolving, it's great work with AurMac. It looks like you're going to become, you know, the next best single asset company within the region. And you know, is that the vision? Is that what you envisaged from the start? I guess these journeys never quite play out exactly as planned, but it's going down a very successful route, certainly.
Well, we certainly know where we need to go. You know, we've started our baseline environmental work for permitting, and that's another area where both Victoria Gold and Alexco are invaluable. They've both been through the permitting process in recent years. They've shared some of their background data, which saves us a lot of time and money, and also gives us that experience of two companies that have been through the process successfully. That's an area which I think I can add lots of value. My background, you know, I sat on the environmental assessment board, and I was very experienced with what it takes to get through the permitting process. So you don't know where these things are going to end up. You have to have a vision where you're going to go. And our vision is very much to first continue to grow the resource, and then start to put together some of the economics of the PEA. Then we can move towards measured and indicated, and actually moving towards, you know, feasibility study. And then by that time, we will have already done the background work and be ready for this project to go through permitting. So does our team have the ability to do that? Absolutely. You know, that's a pretty significant way down the road. You know, if we need to go further, there's lots of, if Banyan was to be like a Victoria Gold that was to build this project, you would supplement your management team and make sure that you have the right people in place for that. I think that's a little too far down the road to worry about right now, because we have two big players beside us. There's lots of other people looking for projects. So, you know, I'm very prepared to continue to take this. This is a great project. It's fun now that we have financing and we can actually look down the road pretty significantly. So I hope I have the opportunity to continue to take it, and I think I can really deliver shareholder value. But if you get offers, or if something comes along, you have to really make the decision that's in the best interest of your shareholders. So that's always got to be your guiding. Is this a good decision for my shareholders? Is this going to add value? And so when and if those opportunities come along, we're going to consider them.
Yep, excellent, absolutely, and that sums it up very nicely. So, Tara, thank you very much for giving us the big picture and some excellent news with the financing and how that's going to enable you to carry out the next phases of drilling and getting towards that PEA. So thanks very much for talking with Assay TV, and we look forward to catching up for some updates later on in the year on how it's going.
Great, and we'll have lots of drill results all through the fall and into the spring and all through next year. So look forward to continuing to deliver value, and now we've got a pretty clear pathway to do that. So thank you very much for your time.
Excellent, thank you.